other
It sounds like Wilbur.
Yeah, there you go. I have another question. I thought this was pretty cool. I remember seeing this on your Facebook page, and it kind of gets off the archery a little bit, but you're the only person I know who's actually been invited personally to go sit in the same room with the President of the United States.
Oh.
Tell us a little bit about
what was that like?
Wow. Well, thank you very much for that opportunity, because this was an eye-opener for me. You know, I'm not much into politics. However, I am now. And the reason why is CNN called me and said they needed some pro-gun people to sit in the audience for the President's Town Hall with Cooper Anderson on Guns in America. And I, of course, this was during the ATA show in Kentucky. And so literally I flew out of there. Well, actually I drove home because I didn't know where it was. It was all in Virginia. I could have kept my gun. It would have been fine. But I thought I might have to go into D.C. So I drove home to drop my gun off. And then the next morning got on a plane and flew to D.C. to go to this town hall. Well, I have to tell everyone listening, we are in the fight of our life for our gun rights, our hunting rights, our Second Amendment rights. It's critical that everyone vote, and I take this very, very seriously. When I went up there, first as you're walking up to where they have the town hall, now there's Secret Service everywhere, and there was four perimeter checks to get into the place.
Right.
I'm going to tell you, I've never seen something so upsetting in my life that they had T-shirts, little baby T-shirts and little kid T-shirts and names written on these T-shirts and hung across a clothesline that were to represent children that were victims of gun violence, right? But while they have those, to you and I, that would be a somber moment. We would not be celebrating and hooping and hollering and acting like, you know, we got the world by the short hairs. And that's what all of the people that had hung these shirts were doing. They were joking and laughing and having a grand time while they were using these lost loved ones as, you know, the big impact statement to promote their agenda. And it was a little bit disturbing to me. So then I finally get inside, and I'm there with the all these people. So what I learned is there's a group called the Brady Foundation, and they had brought all of these people together, and they were there for a week. There was about 10 gun lovers, I call them, which isn't probably good, but 10 pro-gun people, and all the rest of the audience was anti-gun people.
So
and
it was stacked, is what you're saying. It was not stacked your direction.
It was stacked. No, the questions were 50-50, but the audience was clearly not.
Oh, wow.
And so these folks had bonded. You know, they were like family. They were like us if we'd been at an archery tournament for a couple weeks. You know, they were getting the president signed that bill, you know, that does nothing for it's just all a bunch of politics. But anyhow, so I'm being snubbed. Like they got like a little food area, and I just want to go get a drink of water and a cracker, you know. I'm tired, I'm hungry.
Right.
And these women are literally stepping in front of me, so I can't get up to this little reception area. And I'm just like, finally I said, excuse me, can I step in? Isn't this exciting? And it kind of caught them off guard that I started talking to them. Well, they were
Good for you.
so rude. And so then I had my little drink, and I thought, you know, water. And I thought, I'm just going to start introducing myself to these people, and I'm not going to sit here in the corner and cower like a baby.
Good for you.
So I would walk up to people, and all but one person that I shook their hand and said, hi, I'm Karen Butler. Isn't this exciting? One person was so rude. And as a matter of fact, I happened to shake the hand of a man, and this is what happened. I kid you not. Hi, I'm Karen Butler. shake his hand. Isn't this exciting? Yes. What brings you here? He says to me. And I said, well, I own a company called Shoot Like a Girl. And the man's jaw clenched. He turned red. He was physically upset. And I said, what do you do, sir? And he said, I run the Brady campaign. And in my mind, I'm thinking, good for you. And I said, well, sir, I find that shooting sports is a great, safe way for families to spend quality time together. And I made that man so mad, he had to turn around and couldn't even stand me.
Wow.
And it was right then and there. And this is a long way to go to tell everybody that is in your audience to really pay attention. These people do not hate our guns. They hate us, and they hate our way of life. I have faced it firsthand, and the reason that they are louder than us is because we respect people. We respect someone's right to have a different opinion than us, and we might privately think, oh, great, you're an idiot, but okay, that's your opinion.
Right.
I disagree with you. And we go on about our polite, respectful way. And we can still be polite and respectful, but we had better start standing up and screaming at the top of our lungs respectfully that our right to hunt, our right to keep and bear arms, our right to enjoy the nature that God has given us is our fundamental right as guaranteed in the Constitution of the United States, and you will not take it away from us. And if we don't start speaking up and talking to people that differ in opinions about us and trying to drive home our point, which is hard because they get so emotional based.
Right.
But if we don't, and this election goes the other way, I fear for that my grandson will not be able to own a gun. My grandson will not be able to go out and hunt and enjoy the great outdoors. I'm very fearful. If Hillary Clinton wins, we are all in very, very big trouble. And whether you agree or not with the candidate that is there, we have all got to come together and we've got to vote loud enough to drive a point home that our way of life as Americans will not be taken from us.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So sorry, that is my soapbox.
No, that's okay.
No, that's
Amen.
right. No, it's stuff that people need to hear. And coming from you, somebody that a lot of us are very familiar with, and for you to be in the trenches, so to speak, and to hear you say those words firsthand instead of, some dumb meme on Facebook or, some inaccurate information that you get across social media or whatever. I mean, this is a big eye-opener. I think it's really driving that point home coming from you because you are a credible person and you're seeing it
And
Right.
you were
firsthand.
there. You
Yeah,
were
you
there.
were there.
And that was kind of why I wanted to ask you too, because I mean, I think it was apparent when Obama had the town hall that they had to have their token pro-gun people there, and it sounds like that's kind of
They needed a few faces to identify.
and that way they could safely say, well, we had both sides in the audience, right?
Yeah,
So-
as they scanned the audience. Yeah.
Who knew I'd ever be a token?
You're a trophy, honey. You're a trophy.
But
thank you.
what's interesting about that
I'll
is
tell you what,
that gave you a lot of motivation
yeah.
to go out
Absolutely.
and right.
Right, and get that
It
word out.
kind of went backwards on them.
Yeah.
well, so I have to tell you, the very first, okay, I'll share this story and hope the Secret Service isn't listening. So at the very first, I was like, I was really excited, even though I was sitting there and I disagree with the President of the United States on just about everything. Even though I was still excited, it's the President of the United States, and he's going to be standing 15 feet from me. I mean, his chair was literally 15 feet from me. And I was excited, like, with anxious excitement. And he came in, and he wasn't 30 seconds into his presentation, and I was just like, I can't believe you're saying this. And when he talked to my friend Kim Corbin and talked down to her like she was an idiot and that her gun was going to get taken away from her and women shouldn't use firearms to self-defense because the bad guy will take it away. And that's what he said.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm just like, as I'm listening to him, in my mind I look and I got the CNN camera right next to me. I've got a Secret Service guy there, a Secret Service guy there, and I'm wondering if I screamed out bullshit, how long would it take them to rustle me out of here?
I was just thinking that, like, you could jump in front of CNN and give your own.
No,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
my
Secret
goodness.
Service would have grabbed you and,
Probably.
and ran you out. So
I really thought about it because that was not a town hall. So
Yeah.
no, I know.
everybody also needs to know all of these town halls, they're not town halls. They're opportunities for people to drive home their talking points.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's all it is.
Right.
That's all it is. He had a list of whether he knew the questions or not, he knew the answers.
Right.
And he was going to say exactly what he wanted to say
That was rehearsed.
the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so disheartening to see that our political system and our government can be so rigged.
Right.
So
right.
rigged.
Now, on the flip side, how was the NRA meeting? Convention 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? It's the national.
That was fabulous. Of course, I don't know if y'all saw the report, but crime in Louisville, Kentucky went down during that convention. I have no idea why. But that was interesting because we actually did watch the snipers on top of the roof because Donald Trump spoke at that, and
Right.
while we saw all his Secret Service, and but they didn't have any protesters, which was great. That convention is so wonderful, and if everyone's not familiar with NRA Women, really go to NRA.org and just click on their women's link, because I'll tell you what, there are women out there that are doing incredible things on behalf of all of us for protecting our Second Amendment rights, advocating shooting sports for women, and it is just so energizing to be around all these like-minded people that are there, because they care about our country and they care about our Second Amendment, and they, oh, by the way, love to shoot and hunt.
Yay. I figured you probably had a better experience there than at the town hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a little different.
Yeah, she was embraced.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Although I have to tell you what I do want to do. I want to find people that have been saved because they defended themselves with a firearm. And I want to get life-size pop-ups. And the next time that there's a protest where those people are going to be there and hang their T-shirts, I want to go and put all life-size pictures of people and women who have defended themselves and not been a victim because they had the right to keep and bear arms.
That's a great,
Well,
That
look,
is a
great
idea.
idea.
Great idea, but look at all the presidents that their lives have been saved because of a firearm. I
Right.
mean, not just
Exactly.
mow down the road.
But see, if
I mean,
our gun rights, if they get taken away,
right.
it's going to be for the citizenry, the government,
Right.
and the people that want to control everything. They're still going to have their
Right.
protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very right. Well, this election is critical because of the judges. And so there's, last year I got the opportunity to hear a speech. She was the first, I believe she was the first district attorney or the first federal judge for a community in Texas. And she talked about the Constitution and how people have two different views of the Constitution. Some people look at the Constitution, and she did Plato and Socrates, and I'm not going to remember which one is which, but some people look at the Constitution like it's a living document, that it changes to the culture of the time. So as we get a wave of, rights for gay and lesbian people, for example, as we get that right, that they think that the Constitution should bend to accommodate that social trend versus the other side of the aisle feels that the Constitution should just be a standard, black and white, this is what the rights and the rules are. And those two different trends are scary because what happens in that flexible one is the few can outweigh the mass, first off, and
Right.
it's interpretation. Who's to say that, okay, I should have used a different analogy. Let's say let's say that the kids that wear their trousers down on their derrieres, right, and hang out and they're cool, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a style for teenagers, all teenagers. It doesn't matter. Teenagers like to wear their drawers a little loose. So let's say that became the social trend 10 years from now, and then we start bending our Constitution to fit the fact that people need special accommodations because they can't, climb a ladder and their pants that are falling off or whatever.
Right.
I don't think I'm making a good point, but
no, you are.
Oh yeah.
It's very critical that we do not let someone like Hillary Clinton appoint these judges that are going to come. 3 judges. 3 judges changes our country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Either three judges are going to maintain our country, or 3 judges are going to change our country. And we, as American citizens, have the right and the obligation, I think, right now to go the right way. And women even more. When I think about women's history and the fact that women were imprisoned and shunned from their families for trying to stand up for our right to vote, the fact that we don't beat men to the polls and that we aren't the loudest and the most dedicated voters is very scary, because women typically don't vote like we should, and we've got to, because our families, our lives are it's all at stake right now. And I don't mean to sound like an alarmist, and I really never thought that I would be using the rewards that I've gotten from Shoot Like a Girl to talk about politics, but it's hard for me to wake up, and I've traveled around the world. It's hard for me to think that we might wake up where we were told really what we should and shouldn't do, what temperature we should set our thermostat, what doctor we should go to. If basically strip one freedom away, and all of our freedoms are going to get stripped away. And,
exactly.
And we're free-willed people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, this has gotten really deep, Karen.
That's great.
Sorry.
But no, it
I'm
is.
sorry.
No,
that's okay though, because I knew that with your exposure, and that's kind of what I want to ask you a little bit about, some of the stuff you've been exposed to lately, because I can tell even from your Facebook page that you've become very passionate about it, and I think sometimes we get a little laxed in our thinking about how important it is. And that's a good word, Julie, to put it. You get kind of complacent. So, well, I see that we're approaching close to an hour, and I know you've got flip-flops and things like that to buy.
You have an awesome trip to take.
You have an awesome trip to take.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
I do.
I do have a question too that we like to kind of ask everybody. And I don't know, did you want to close? I kind of cut you off there, I feel. Did you want to close out anything else on kind of your subject matter?
No, you guys are great. No, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you, and I'm just so thankful that we were able to make this work, and appreciate what you guys are doing.
We appreciate what you're doing.
We appreciate you too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, keep it up. Buy more trailers.
You are our lady in the forefront.
Yeah,
exactly. What if you had advice for someone that was new coming into archery, for example? And obviously your trailer isn't everywhere. How would you direct? What advice would you give to just the average woman on the street? Said, "Hey, I'd like to try shooting a bow," and what would you want to pass on to them?
A brand new shooter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what you're... So I think what I would really want to tell them is I'd ask them why they think they can't shoot. Because a lot of times the reason people don't try something is because they don't think they can. And I'd encourage them to go into Cabela's or go to their local archery shop and look for another female that's a shooter. So like for where you guys shoot at your club, they go in, look for another female shooter, and say, hey, I'm thinking about trying this. And I think 10 times out of 10, that shooter is going to say, great, I'm going to help you. And then most people have, if your compound bow doesn't fit them, then get them in a recurve bow, get them in whatever bow they can, take them close to the target and let them shoot. Because most people don't do things because they fear. They fear they're going to get hurt. They fear that they're going to look silly doing something new, and they fear they can't. And as soon as you tell them that they can, and for all your listeners who might be new shooters, by golly, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It is the best sport in the world to relieve stress. And at the end of the day, stress is killing us. I know we do a breast cancer tournament and do raise money for cancer, but heart disease is the #1 killer for women, and it's because women have stopped taking time for ourselves. We asked to own our own companies. We asked to be CEOs in businesses. We asked to work and do all of these things that our male counterparts are doing, but we did not give up any responsibilities. And traditionally, it might not be true in your home, but most of the time, women still take their kids to the doctor, their dogs to the vet, they do their grocery shopping,
Right.
they do the laundry, they do the cooking, they do the cleaning, they do all of these chores that are traditional lady chores, and they don't have time for themselves. And so shooting sports, what it does, when you are concentrated on a shot, you are thinking about where that shot is going, what that release is going to be like, and hitting that X on that target. And you aren't thinking about what's for dinner tomorrow or the next day.
Right.
And you've got to give yourself that break. And I would just encourage every single woman that if you've never tried it, get out there and try it, because what you're going to find is a sport that you can do for the rest of your life, no matter what your physical limitations are. There is a way to help you shoot, and you will love it and enjoy it forever.
Yes,
Wow.
exactly.
Awesome.
That's great.
Well
Good
said,
message.
Karen. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful stuff.
I feel like you were talking straight to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all our heads were bobbing
yeah,
up
yeah,
and
we're all
down.
nodding.
All of our heads were bobbing up and down. So
yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God! You guys need the little recorder thing while you're doing this.
Yeah.
That'd be
we
fun.
have done that from time to time. Yeah, I thought about videotaping ourselves because all of
Yeah.
our heads were just up and down. Yep. Laundry. Yep. Still do that. Grocery. Yep.
Vacuuming, sweeping, dishes,
Exactly.
dusting.
And
yeah.
taking care of our man babies.
Right.
Man babies.
Man babies.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
There you
Yeah,
go.
well, I have to tell you, I do have to do one shout out to my husband Todd, because I would not have been able to do any of this without his absolute support. And so that other thing, and I'm sorry, I know you guys are trying to wrap up, but the other thing is we can't ever be in a we-they mentality. It has to be us. And I'm blessed with a good husband that helps me and supports me and pushes me when I think I can't push myself. And I'm sure you all have the same thing. And
Yes.
and I'm just I had to put a shout out for him, because he always gets mad when I do all these interviews and I say Christy and I talk about my instructors and I don't say him.
And then you leave him out.
Yeah, I know. I can't leave him out. I would not have the company if it weren't for him, because he's the one that insisted I went and talked to the small business coach. And it wasn't until he really insisted that I do that I made the leap to do Shoot Like a Girl. So
yeah,
thank you all so much. This has been fun.
All right.
All right,
Hey,
thanks, Karen.
We really appreciate it. We're going to share your information on our Facebook page, and we'll keep an eye out on your Facebook page and website too when you re-announce your breast cancer fundraisers, and we'll absolutely jump on board with that one. So
Yep.
Awesome.
and I'll
you.
when the podcast is getting ready to go up, we'll message you to let you know so you can listen to it and so forth.
Perfect.
So
All right.
Thank you
Very
so
good.
much.
That's awesome. Thanks, Karen.
Yes. Have a good
Have
day.
a great day, girls.
You
all
too.
right, and be careful
All
in
right, bye.
Africa.
Yes.
Have fun.
I will.
All right.
I won't get between a hippopotamus.
There you
Please
go.
don't.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, I already muted her. Sorry.
Oh.
Wow.
That was really
That
good.
was good. Lots of good information. It's so exciting to see how much it has grown seeing where Karen was with this.
Yeah, I remember.
However many years
I mean, I
ago.
think the first time I saw them was at an ASA.
I wanted to ask
booth.
her what her first booth was, where she was.
She kind of, she did.
The
She
first
did
one
say
I
it.
remember was Metropolis.
It's probably
and
when
she
I
had
had
like her little
Yeah.
10 by 10 little pop-up canopy thing, and
Was selling mainly shirts and hats.
and had a little rack of bows
Mm-hmm.
there, which was great because she did have a variety of brands. And
Mm-hmm.
I know she sells bow quivers, or not quivers, bow cases. Overton's
really?
Archery
Okay.
and Lawrence has, I know at least one. He had a couple. It has the emblem on it. It's a
Sweet.
black case with pink emblem on it. It's
We're going to
really
have
cute.
to go shopping.
Uh-huh. Yeah. We all need to shoot like a girl.
Well, and we always say we're going to post links, and then I think we always forget. So we really need to get the Shoot Like a Girl link up on our Facebook page, on the website. I wrote it down. See, getting old and my memory's bad.
Now, she couldn't be any more forefront in what...
Oh, the NRA
I mean,
website.
everything that she does is eats, sleeps, and breathes for us as shooters. I mean, she's on it.
What's
Love
really
that.
cool is, and that's why I wanted to ask her about the town hall thing. I mean, she just went from a girl that started a little booth and set up a little tagline and
And now
a
look what she's
logo,
doing.
and now she's getting invited to sit in a town hall with the president, which I knew that wasn't going to go her way, but
Right. And then, I mean, she's seen Trump
But-
and
But what a great ambassador
I know.
for our gun rights and for women
well,
in general, and women with gun rights in
Right.
shooting sports. I mean, she's perfect.
right.
yeah, exactly. And because for her, it's not just about the gun. It's really about the whole package. I mean, that's how I think she views it, and her company is promoting it as it's all tied in together. All the shooting sports, the hunting, conservation, all that stuff
Right.
is really tied in together. So
Yeah, she has a very holistic, global perspective on all
Right.
of that. And she's so smart when it comes to all of that. She's able to connect all of those dots and see how they're interrelated. And
I remember when we first did that, and this kind of is slightly related, but when we first did that first fundraiser for Shoots Like a Girl, it was they had an indoor target. And anyway, she struggled. Like, some of the large organizations would not take money from any sort of shooting sports that were raised by shooting sport organizations, which I thought that was kind of interesting.
so it makes you wonder where their funds are going, or who is helping to fund them.
Well, or
and,
that,
you know,
like-
special interest groups and that sort of thing.
Like, I don't know. I mean, do you think, like, for the non-hunter, whatever, who doesn't have anything to do with either archery or gun hunting or anything, will they maybe lump even archery in the same category as, like, guns? Or I don't know.
I don't know. That's a really good question.
I was just curious.
Well, she spoke on our hunting rights
Yeah.
if they are
that's true.
taken away. So felons can still own a bow. They just can't own a gun. So I don't know if it would fall in to the same exact category, but they may take our hunting rights away. I mean, I don't know. I think that's where she was talking a little bit on.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Right, exactly. Well, and there's some that are anti-hunting regardless.
Right, yeah.
It's the same kind of issue you run into with, why do you shoot that fish and don't throw it back? And, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Even though they're
that's
an invasive
right.
fish and the conservation department would really like them gone.
Yeah, because one day the game fish are all going to be gone, and we're going to have nothing to eat fish-wise.
Right, but
I mean, but there's those people that say, "Oh, the poor fish has feelings."
Well, if you want to get into conspiracy theories, there are people out there that are going to say, but the government wants it that way. They
Yeah.
want it to be to where they control every aspect of your life, including what you eat.
right,
well, I mean, you could say that, if you let them invade on your gun rights, then next it's the hunting rights, then it's going to be into your archery.
so they're all a bunch of invasive carp. That's what we're getting at here.
The government's a bunch of
trash fish.
We got all politicking on this one, so
I know we're probably going to stop recording, and Annalise and I are going to leave, and Secret Service is going to be out there waiting.
Oh goodness, please! They're probably swarming the place now. Can you hear
There's probably
helicopters
choppers up there.
Oh,
who's
the
that
dog's
man?
barking.
There's a
They
man
may
with
be at the door.
Snipers out
the
in
men
the
in
trees.
black are here at the suit and the dark glasses, and they're coming to take us away.
Oh my goodness.
Hopefully, they'll just zap our memory of their men in black.
Exactly.
But really, like I kind of touched on this earlier when we were talking to Karen. A lot of what she said really got my attention because we are so bombarded with so much stuff out in social media and the news, and of course, the news is biased and all of that. But to hear this stuff come from somebody that we know and respect,
Right,
and is seeing it firsthand,
Right.
in our industry, something we're passionate about.
That has really gotten my attention, and I could feel myself kind of starting to get a little hot over
Me
here,
too.
like starting to sweat a little bit, thinking, "Oh my gosh, this is coming from someone who I view as a very legitimate source of
Exactly.
information. We need to wake up and pay attention and start taking some
We've
action."
all gotten complacent.
Yeah.
We've all been shooting our bows and been happy, and we haven't been paying attention to everything that's going on the news because the gorilla came out, and then, the bathroom stories. I mean, they get our attention going somewhere else. I know a lot. So they do get it off the real meaningful things that we need to be paying attention to.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and most of the people that are upset over the gorilla will probably get hate and death mail over this and death threats. But I'd say 98% of the people never even knew that gorilla existed
Right.
until this happened.
Right. Or the lion.
Or the lion, it's the same thing. Yeah, that's Cecil, the lion.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
They're in heaven together now.
Yes, they are. Oh, God, we're going to be in so much trouble.
We are.
Well, I've seen that on social media. Isn't everything on social media
That's
true?
true. Yes, it is. Social media and the internet. It's all true.
Exactly. Exactly. So.
But anyway, what a great person.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
she's
doing
really
such-
impressive, and
She's doing great things.
and when she came out with that company, I mean, to me it seems like a no-brainer. I don't know how many times I've been into bow shops, and I'm like, man, I'd like to shoot something. Everything's at 60, 70 pounds and 30-inch draw lengths, and you're like,
I've never even thought that way, but only because I'm tall and I can fit pretty much anything in a shop. I've never thought that way. So just hearing her say that and you guys talk about it,
vast
never
majority.
even crossed my mind that you don't have equal opportunity to shoot the same equipment.
No,
that come into.
it's a huge.
I even thought
huge
it
challenge.
was funny when, Vic's Archery, and Vicky was the owner, and the Hoyt dealer, whoever the dealers would come around, and a lot of times they wouldn't even have a bow set for her to shoot, and she's the owner. I just always thought that was kind of bizarre.
Well, and I mean, I guess in their defense, and of course we're talking some years back too, before the numbers of women in
True.
shooting
Most of your
sports started
most of
to
your
really
buyers
grow.
were guys
Most
hunting.
of them were guys. That's right. But I really think that the numbers are starting to get people's attention, and they're you're starting to see more and more stuff marketed toward women. Granted, it might be pink camouflage or something like that, which there are women out there that like that. But that's a sign to me that the manufacturers in the business are paying
Right.
attention, and they're starting to realize that, hey, there's a whole aspect out here that we need to be servicing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's really been booming. Just the amount of pink in the archery department at a place shows you how far it's came just in the last couple of years.
I'll just be honest. I think pink's like my least favorite color.
Pink is not my favorite color.
Yeah, it's my least favorite as well. But
I'd be like, okay, change it to purple.
But
It could be
I feel
purple.
like I feel like pink in the sport that we're in shows that we're proud to be women in the sport. That's the way I feel
Yeah.
about it. Pink to me means I get an opportunity to talk to a little girl because she sees the pink sparkles on my bow. I've had that numerous times. They'll be running around, horsing around, and one little girl came right over and she stopped at my quiver because there was nothing.
She was drawn towards it.
I caught her attention. So to me, pink is not my favorite color either. Green is, but I would get lost in the sea of green in archery. So to me, pink means I feel like a strong woman.
Sort of like
almost
like a bond of women with the
Yes.
women in the sport.
Right.
Would be what it represents.
Proud to be pink.
It doesn't mean I'm obsessed with the color pink or I'm super feminine in any way. I'm not. But I truly enjoy shooting. And in the beginning, there wasn't a pink bow for me to shoot. So I had my husband make pink strings because I just felt like I wanted to be a girl in the sport. I didn't want to be a boyish girl in the sport. Or is that boyish girl? That's what I meant.
You said it right.
You said it right. It's okay.
But
Right.
so anyway, that's where that started for me. And just in the amount of time I've shot, the amount of pink in the archery department shows me that little girls are getting into this sport. How
That's
cool.
an interesting perspective because I'd never really thought of it that way before. I just thought, pink, it's feminine. You know, they're trying to appeal to women because of the feminine aspect of it. But the way you're putting it is, to me, it's way more positive to look at it that way. And, you know, I have pink strings on my bow and I have pink veins and it started off as a joke, but you know what? I'm going to look at them completely differently now.
Jim's had pink fletching before because I think he's really a woman.
Well, and a lot of women, a lot of women come to
he's
me.
Not afraid of his feminine side.
I think a lot of women, when we go out and shoot in the field or wherever we shoot, are like, oh my gosh, pink is so. That is not attractive. And I look at them and I'm like, well, you have a bow and whatever color it may be, that to you is what symbolizes what you like in the sport. To me, I like talking to the little girls. I like talking with a group of girls. And I feel like maybe the pink bow is a little attractive, a lure.
Especially it will be for
Do you drive a van?
I was
too?
gonna say
Unmarked.
She's really a stalker. Don't watch out for
No, not at all. I don't drive a van. I refuse to drive a van.
Gotcha.
You could tell by the look on her face. She
was
knew
like-
that she had set herself up and where
Every
that was going to
time.
go.
Foot and mouth.
But no, I get what you're saying though,
Yeah.
because little girls love pink, and
Yes.
if we're here to be ambassadors to the sport
For
or of the
women.
sport, for women and for girls in our own right, then I totally get
we need
that.
we need to put lures on our stuff too.
Yeah, we do.
Well, that's what.
And if that doesn't work, resort to candy and
There
puppies
you
and
go.
kittens.
Barb's
kittens
got
on
the
the
kittens.
And I pack him in my chair.
I'll get
I have
all
the
the little
kittens.
girls.
It will.
Oh my gosh.
So we walked into PetSmart with those things. The people came swarming to us.
Yeah. See? You have your own lure.
Exactly.
Shoot a bow, get a free kitten.
Kittens. Hey, that's how I get rid of them.
There you go. Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm going to have to wrap up because I need to get going on the road.
We've been going a while here.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
appreciate Karen joining us
That was
today.
great.
And yeah, love what she's done with Shoots Like a Girl. We gotta get that trailer here. We need that
Yes.
trailer to roll up in some tournaments, man. That's
Yes.
so cool.
Don't you feel more empowered after talking to her?
Yes.
Yes, very
For
much.
real.
Maybe we just need to become Shoot Like a Girl groupies and just follow the trailer around the country. And
I think we need to like get our own trailer and drive it around. I mean, like like work for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be
Sure.
the Missouri.
except ours will be a van.
with kittens and pink
Sparkles.
things.
Oh my goodness.
Please, no van.
All right, who wants to take us out of here?
Okay, go ahead.
Well,
you.
you go ahead because I can never remember the .coms and we gotta,
Okay, you can find us girls if you want to talk to us. Okay, so if you want to ask us a question or put it on air, it would be www.BowDivas.com. You can also find us on Facebook. It's BowDivas Podcast. We have a Twitter that's BowDivas Podcast, and our Instagram is BowDivas01.
I don't know, something like that.
Something like that.
But we're mostly active on our website and on Facebook. So
Yeah.
those would be your first two places to go.
So if you'd like to ask us a question or give us an idea of somebody you would like to hear on the air, go ahead and drop us a line on one of those outlets. And I think that
pretty much wraps it up, I think.
That will wrap it up. We'll share some information, too, about Karen Butler and Shoots Like a Girl and breast cancer fundraisers coming up and that kind of thing. So thank you, everybody, for listening, and take care and have a great day. I'm imagining I'm hearing the music. Just imagining it.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.